Good morning, everybody. Hey, welcome to Saturday Morning Worksheets. This morning, we're going to touch on how to help your child create their own path in life to be an individual instead of following the crowd. Because most of the times, these children are following the wrong crowd, which they think the crowd is cool, but the crowd is not. Some of these crowds are leading to gang membership, leading to the idea that being dumb or not taking education serious is cool. And those things also lead down to a path of bad things to happen. So, getting to Saturday morning worksheets, I want to say this first. I come off of opinion. Yes, I do come off opinion, but most of my opinions come from me being around youth all day long, every day of the week. It comes from experience of that. It comes from experience of being a youth advocate, running my 501c, the Youth Advocates. It comes from experience of being a behavior modification specialist, also being a behavior intervention in the school system, behavior interventionist in the school system. So everything comes from that when I do Saturday morning worksheets. Also, I have a social work degree, and so that's another experience I have. I have a social work degree. So when I'm talking to you, I know what I'm talking about, but also I do use opinions. They're also my personal opinions, but a lot of it comes from experience and education. Get to back to Saturday morning worksheet. First, I want to explain why, in my opinion, youth should be embracing self-esteem, high self-esteem, because I witness every day children with low self-esteem. And when I notice children with low self-esteem, they're usually looking down, they're following the wrong people, they don't have their own voice. They see certain kids that's doing wrong things and they think it's cool and they want to hang with that. They look at clothing as more important than education, just things of that nature. Most of the time when they have a negative, low self-esteem, they're quick to be disrespectful to adults and administrators and things of that nature because they don't know who they are. And we must start focusing on building our child's self-esteem. That's I believe that's the first thing we need to start with our child, building their confidence and their self-esteem. We must start doing that first parents. Must start doing that first. Now, as I always say, I was a parent of three children. They're all grown now. I wasn't a perfect parent. I made mistakes. But now I'm trying to help you through the mistakes I made so you won't make them. So we must focus on the self-esteem of our child. Okay? And help our child embrace what they're great at. Help our child, our females, help our females embrace their beauty. Help our females and boys embrace their uniqueness. Help them embrace that. Let them know that that is a gift from God, man. That is a gift from the Almighty, and that they are supposed to embrace that because it's only one them. Let them know there's only one them, and they are unique. All right? Now, next thing we're going to do is we need to teach our child how to create their own path. Teach our child how to create their own path. Okay? And we need to teach this early. We need to teach this early. I mean, I'm saying 2, 3 years old. We need to start teaching them to go their own way and be an individual early. Yes, it's cool to be a team. We can work on that later. But we first need to build this person to be an individual, to embrace their self, love their self. Okay? Then we can teach the teen things later. All right? I want to focus on one. I want to focus on one of the main things I see. Middle school. Middle school age children is usually when a child is trying to find his or herself. Let me repeat that. Middle school age, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, is usually the time when the child is trying to find themselves. Now, they either can go the right path or they can go the wrong path. But if we teach them how to be an individual, if we teach them how to love their uniqueness, if we teach them and help them have a great self-esteem, they'll usually either be a leader and do what they want to do, or they'll follow the right crowd. One or two friends. I always tell the youth at school, one or two friends. You don't need a whole crowd of people to be cool with you. One or two good people. And most time I tell them one. One. Because if things go wrong, you know who did it, you know who said it. That's just my rule. Anyway, middle school is a real trying age and a real trying time for our children. Pressure from negative peers can seem cool or even the right thing to do at times, because most time those peers seem popular to the masses. Okay? Pressure from negative peers, you can say a child that don't believe school is important, a child that think it's cool to be disrespectful to adults and administrators, child that decide to smoke now because they're in middle school, child that decide to drink now they're in middle school, child that decides to smoke weed that now they're in middle school, child that decides to be in a gang now they're in middle school. All that seems cool to a child that does not have great self-esteem and not an individual, do not know his what he's supposed to be doing here. Or don't have great confidence, self-esteem. That child doing negative things seems cool. So we must start early building our child up and helping our child to be an individual and choosing a different path. Do that early. Success. Personal success of your child's swag, as they say, his individual swag, or popularity are all products of increasing his self-esteem, his or her self-esteem, confidence, and developing the individuality. Your child's personal success, whether it's passing in school, whether it's making a team, or playing an instrument, or knowing how to dress, or grooming themselves right, that's a personal success to me. They swag, however they like to dress, they think, what colors they like. They swag, the way they wear their hair, all that. Or their personal popularity are all products of increasing self-esteem and confidence and developing the individuality. Teaching our children to be grateful for the things they have already also help them to create their own path. We must talk to our kids about being grateful for the things they have already. And I'm talking about just things like love from you, from their family, clothing they already have, shelter, food on the table. See, the kid think this, I'm sorry for saying kid, please forgive me. The child thinks these things are nothing because why? It's there already. It's just there. It just shows up for no reason. So they think that's nothing. But we need to start teaching them to be grateful for that. Because a lot of the students and a lot of the other peers they have don't even have that. These negative peers that they like to follow and following the crowd, a lot of these peers don't have the love in the house, the food in the house, the clothing in the house, the nice shelter, a car to ride in. They don't have that. They might have a pair of Jordans, but they don't have the other things I just mentioned. And your child have all that, so we need to start helping your child to be grateful for that. Once they learn how to be grateful for the few things and the normal things that a person have, then they'll understand that other stuff, Jordans, I'm not knocking Jordans, but I'm just using Jordans, gym shoes, because that's popular. They glorify things like that. I'm not down in Jordans. I like to see people wear Jordans. I don't wear them, but I like to see people wear Jordans. They look nice. But what I'm saying is they are more focused on that. Their parents are more focused on that, clothing, expensive clothing and electronics, that they don't have the proper things you're supposed to have. And we need to get our child to be grateful for those things first. Then when they see a child doing negative things with the popular things on, it doesn't intrigue them. They're not intrigued by that. So they won't follow the negativity. So help them to be grateful for the things they already have. All right? The normal things. Okay? That's another thing we can do by helping our child to create their own path and be an individual. All right? Help them to understand that some of the fads that they see are not respectful. I don't talk about the boys wearing their pants off their hind parts. I really don't. I feel like it's just something they're going through and it's a fad or whatever. But we can tell our boys, our young boys, no, it's not right to show your underwear. All right? I'm not going to go too far in that. But no, it's not right to show your underwear. But we can also not, we don't even have to talk about that, because once we teach our child and help our child to raise their confidence, to love who they are and embrace their uniqueness, they won't do that anyway. They won't do that anyway. So that'll be off their mark to even look at guys that's doing that. All right? We must develop our child's self-esteem. Again, we're going to talk about it again. We must develop our child's self-esteem and individualism early. As I said, do it early. A couple of ways we can do this is use positive affirmation words within conversation. Tell them how great they are. Tell the girls how beautiful they are. Tell your son how beautiful he is. Tell them how smart they are. Tell them you like the way they wear their hair. Embrace them when they get good grades. Embrace them when they clean up their room. Always just give them positive. I had to learn that. Also. You know, we must stay that way. Even if they look at you and treat you like you're being weird, do it. And the reason I can tell you that, because I remember feeling weird and I stopped doing it. So don't stop doing it. Continue to do it. Okay? Telling our girls they're beautiful, as I said. Boys or girls, they're worthy. They don't have to be perfect. And for them to accept their flaws. Embrace your child's fashion. Again, choices, and compliment small wins. When he or she accomplish a goal, compliment them in front of their peers or family members. This will improve their motivation. This will improve their motivation, inspire hard work, ethics, and encourage goal setting. Let me say that again. When he or she accomplish a goal, compliment them in front of their peers, our family members. This will improve their motivation, inspire hard work ethics, and encourage goal setting. Our main goal this Saturday morning worksheet is to prevent our child from following the masses and choose a different path, improve an individualism mindset, and create leadership. Choose a different path, improve an individualism mindset, and create a leader. Lastly, promote innovation. Cultivate ambition, and teach our children how to be passionate about their personal style, looks, intelligence, and personal growth. Now, I'm almost done. This is the worksheet that I want you to do. This is what I want you to do to help your child to create their own path. to be an individual and embrace their uniqueness so they won't follow the wrong crowd. First, set a time and day during the week to have open communication with your child. Mostly, 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 I want you to listen. I want you to listen and don't be judgmental. Number two, pick a day throughout the week or month to visit your child's school and have lunch. Visit your child's school and have lunch. Get to know all their teachers. Visit the basketball games. Okay? Visit the recitals. Let them see you. Okay? And that's going into number three. Be your child's biggest cheerleader. If they are if they pass if they're doing extracurriculum, if they're doing extracurriculum activity, make a point to talk about things they're doing right. What am I saying? If they're in basketball, if they're in football, if they're artists, if they're poet, whatever they do, don't point out the negative, what they did. Point out the positive. And if you want to talk about the negative, leave that the last thing you talk about. Be their greatest cheerleader. When you on your way home after everything is over, focus on the positive things they did. Okay? And if you got something to say that you think might be negative, use it for the last part of the conversation. Then after you say that, encourage them some more. Okay? Number four, make it okay for them to be unique. Help them embrace their uniqueness. Most children want to be their true self. Most children want to be that corny child you think he is, but it's not cool. It's not cool. But you embrace that and you help them embrace that. You let them know that God made them perfect. Let them know God made them perfect. Okay? And if you do that, if you help them do that, they'll embrace their uniqueness, they'll be an individual, and they won't follow the wrong crowd. Okay? Let's do that. Let's help them embrace their uniqueness. If they corny, if they can't dance, so what? What can they do better? Can they play the guitar? Can they play the piano? Can they beat the drums? Can they do poetry? What can they do? Help them embrace that. Because that's what's going to make them great. And we want all our children to be great. We want all our children one day to be a leader and have a great life. So as I said when we first started, start early, 2, 3 years old, building our children up. Telling them they're beautiful. Telling them they're perfect. Telling them embrace their faults. Embrace their flaws. Because God still made them perfect. Help them be an individual. Let them know it's not cool to follow the crowd that's doing wrong. Make them embrace education. Let them understand without information, there is nothing else. Because information and knowledge, education, whatever you want to call it, get you to greatness. As I always say, I thank you for checking out the video. I thank you for listening to Saturday Morning Worksheet today. I thank you for following the Youth Advocates. Please continue to follow the Youth Advocates. We love you. 3 or 300 we going in, whether we the Youth Advocates today, 3 brothers in the conversation on our podcast, or whether we just doing the Youth Advocates. Like I said, 3 or 300, we going in. We all about the youth. We all about saving the youth. If you have any questions, you can always inbox me, or you can ask me something on the Youth Advocates Facebook page. We on Instagram, the Youth Advocates, Twitter, the Youth Advocate 1. DA Youth Advocates 1 or the Youth Advocates. Okay? So with that being said, man, we out. Thank you for coming in and listening to Saturday Morning Worksheets. I hope this Saturday Morning Worksheet help you with helping your child be an individual and helping your child reach their goals in life. And I want everybody to have a great, great, great Saturday. Love you, the Youth Advocates. Peace.